So we will go ahead. I have my thumb drive that has Windows 10. I can show you in both cameras. And you'll see this is if you look at my finger in the lower right screen, this is a T570 Lenovo. And I'm going to go ahead and hold down the power button to get it powered off. Now we will power this back on. And when the Lenovo logo comes up on screen, we'll need to press enter to get into the BIOS. And BIOS stands for Basic In-Out System. So we'll go ahead and wait for it to come up, if it's going to come up. There we go. Oh, it's restarting. That's right, this machine was in the process of patching, so we may have to clip off the front of this video, which is okay. As this Lenovo boots up, we want to catch it in the boot process. So we'll press F1, you can see, to get into the BIOS. You have to watch that and go kind of quick. Well, I might not have caught it. There, I did catch it in time. So you'll see here, we can press F1 again, and that will get us into the BIOS. This is the basic in-out system. You can see across the top we have menus. We have main, config, date, time, security, and startup. We are going to move over to startup. And what we want to do is check this UEFI legacy boot. And you can see we can have legacy boot, UEFI, or both. We don't want both or legacy. We want to choose UEFI only. CMS support is supported for booting legacy operating systems. That's fine to leave on. The boot mode, there's quick, and that goes by pretty fast, as you can imagine, and then diagnostic. We want to use diagnostic. It lets you see the memory testing and everything on the machine, and so that's something we do want to see. And then we do want to enable this boot device list F12 option. We want that to be enabled. Now we will choose F10 to save. Before I save it, it'll reboot. I'm going to go ahead and put the flash drive in, and I will press F10, and I can do the right or left arrow to choose no or yes. I'm going to choose, and now this machine will reboot. As it's rebooting, I'm going to press the F12 key. I'll wait for it to come back up. You don't hold it, you just press it a couple of times, and that's what I'm doing now. And because I'm in diagnostic mode, it doesn't show. So it doesn't show the red logo for the Lenovo screen. And you can see here I have USB hard disk drive. HDD stands for that, and it's a Kingston data traveler. Sometimes this will change. This could be generic USB, or it could say it's a SCSI drive. We're going to choose that and press enter. Now what will happen on this laptop is it will go ahead and boot now from the thumb drive. This thumb drive, this is a really important point. This thumb drive is USB 3 thumb drive, and I realize you probably can't read these, but I'll just tell you what it says. Language to install is English, and I downloaded this as an English image file. Then you can choose the time and currency format. I'm leaving it on English. Keyboard input is US. You can choose French. You can choose different languages there. I'm going to go ahead and click Next. I'm going to choose Install Now. Again, this is running off the thumb drive. If you were doing this online, it would take many hours in Uganda, especially, and we want to avoid that. So installing from the thumb drive is really critical. I'm going to go ahead and accept, choose the box for accept, and choose Next. Now I'm not doing an upgrade, I'm doing a custom install. So I'll choose this custom install choice. And you can see these are in megabytes. These are the partitions for doing recovery options. There's a Lenovo recovery volume, and I'm going to choose the 224 gig volume. And in this case, I'm going to go ahead and format it, and it'll tell me I'm going to lose all the data. I'll tell it that's fine because I want a clean install. So it's formatted. And you can see it gains some space back, and it's a primary disk. So I will choose Next. And what's going to happen now is it will copy all the files. Again, it's happening very quickly, and it's getting the partition ready for installation. And this should happen fairly quickly as well. And since I'm not going to use the keyboard anymore, I'm going to go ahead and adjust my video. So I will choose, I'm going to turn this video off. I'm going to go ahead and turn off the text. What I want to do is make the laptop screen a lot bigger so you can see it easier. And I'm going to make my ugly face a lot smaller because you don't really need to see that. But I do want you to see the installation screen better. So this should do the trick on the video. Okay. Hopefully all those new lines. If I was not an IT guy and a professional video person, I would have had all these scenes set up. But I'm not a professional video person, so you get what you pay for. That's a US term. And so this install will go fairly quickly. And by the way, I reshot this video just because I'd had some chocolate cookies, and I had chocolate in the corners of my mouth when I shot the last video, and it just looked terrible. Beth, my wife, she teased me and said I had to redo it. So that's what I'm doing. Plus, it'll turn out better. It'll probably go through this a little bit. This video will be a little bit shorter and look better. Installing the updates. Finishing up. This really does move quickly. So let's go ahead and I will choose Restart. And I'm going to go ahead and remove that thumb drive. So now the thumb drive is gone. And you can see it right here a little bit better. And what will happen is now that we've installed Windows on, and by the way, this is the detailed information that it gives you. We chose that detailed option in the BIOS. Really good to do on these older laptops so you can see if they pass their memory tests and everything else. The other thing we'll do is we will run in another video segment, we will run a, oh, look at this, choose an opera. Oh, it left my old version there. That's interesting. We'll clean that up. When it was Windows 7, it didn't. I deleted the partition. So this will go through and give us that other option you probably won't see if you're doing a Windows 7 upgrade. But because I had installed Windows 10 on this before, it showed me both partitions or both installations of Windows, which is okay. So let's check and see how things are doing. That looks pretty good. Oh, I'm covering up the model number. Let's move my face over here. Sorry about that. So you can see in that lower right corner, you can see that model number of the T570. So it's really interesting. You'll see some of these laptops come, if they're 2018, 2019, they may have shipped with Windows 7 or Windows 8. A lot of companies didn't like Windows 8, so they didn't leave Windows 8 on their computers, or Lenovo didn't ship them with Windows 8. They'll ship them with Windows 7, you know, back in 2018 and 19. But the machine was licensed for Windows 10. And so that's a pretty good thing to understand. And I'll be updating that in the next course as well. So we'll let this, it's doing a reboot right now. Hopefully this goes pretty quickly. I think it will. There we go. And again, all the detail to see that it's caching, and it's testing the CPU cache and the memory to make sure that it's all good. When we get into a physical maintenance video, I'll show you how to blow these out with canned air, because they get a lot of dust built up inside of these laptops. And also we'll be installing a new fan in a laptop to show you how to put, say, new storage, new solid state drive, new fan, and that's something that can be very handy, especially if you end up majoring in something through Pathway where you're getting into some graphic design and things. You may need more space. I'm going to go ahead and choose, well, I could choose United States. I'm going to go ahead and choose Uganda, and I'll go ahead and press enter. So this will set up and make sure that I'm in the Uganda time zone. Keyboard, I'm going to go ahead and choose US. You could choose another keyboard language. And I will also choose skip. That's the default because I'm not setting up another keyboard on here. A lot of companies will share their laptops with people. Multiple people will use one laptop, and they may speak different languages, and they can have different keyboards with different languages. So I will connect to this, put in the password for it. Connect to the blue wing, not blue field. So let's try this network. And it's okay to see things on this network. If you're doing this at a public network, you may not want to say yes, but in my case I do. So we'll go ahead and move through this. Now, once you connect to a network, the Windows installation will go out and start bringing down updates and things. So you need to be mindful that that could cost money in data. And so whenever you do an install, you bring the thumb drive with Windows 10 on it. So that's the bulk of the data. But rebuilding or redoing a client's laptop at your home network might not be a great idea, because now that I've put it on my home network, my home office network, it's going back, and like here they say, sit back, relax while we work our magic. And it's actually downloading drivers and different pieces of information. It hasn't gotten to the updates yet, and it will do that, but that's something to keep in mind. Make sure that you are doing this at the client's network, or if you can get an unlimited data plan at your home office network or office network, then it's okay to let it do this. I mean, this is a big driver for why we're even doing this course, is the data costs are so high. And so you download, say, the patches once a month on a thumb drive, and you go around and install it at several customer sites and your computer, so that you're not paying to download 700 megabytes repeatedly, because that adds up to an expense that's unnecessary. Here we go. We are going to set this up, make sure this is readable. It's better if I go off of it, maybe. And we're choosing the setup for personal use. That's the top choice. So we will set that up and choose next. And now I'm going to choose offline account in the lower left. Make sure that you can read that. Yeah, you can read that. So you're going to choose this. If the customer already had Office 365 accounts, you could put that in here, and it would set them up with their Office 365 information. Here, I'm going to choose limited experience. And the reason I'm choosing that is Microsoft will do a lot of tracking, make things more convenient for you. But I don't want that, because I'm trying to use less data. This laptop, I'm going to call it Uganda 2. TWO. Choose next. And I'll give it one of my passwords. Oh, didn't like it. I didn't do it right. There we go. It wants me to put in security questions. So what was my first pet's name? And where was I born? And I'm cheating, obviously. I'm putting in the same thing on all of them. And if it really were a good security system, they would check and make sure you weren't putting in the same thing every time and say, wait a minute, you need to really put in your childhood nickname, which was not Gibby. But for the sake of this demonstration, this is okay. I'm going to go ahead and accept. Always have access to your recent browsing data. I'm going to say no. I don't want it shipping that around between my phone and my computer. Again, saving on the data. I'm going to shut all of these things off because, again, it just is more traffic across the internet that slows down your access and costs more money for the data. I'm going to choose to customize my experience. This is just some default setups for Windows. I'm going to choose education and let this go ahead and continue its setup. And this is where Microsoft will say hi. What is this? This has a Core i5 processor in it with 8 gigs of memory, so this should go fairly quickly. And like I said, I'll do this also on an older Hewlett-Packard laptop I have here. And we'll do an install so we can go into the basic in-out system or BIOS on another brand of computer. They all are very similar to what you saw here when you go into the basic in-out system. But what was interesting when I first did this install, attempted it, because that legacy BIOS setting was set to do both, when you boot it up with the thumb drive, the Microsoft installer would complain and say, well, I don't have a driver for the hard drive in your laptop. And once we switched it to the non-legacy BIOS, then that problem went away, and I was doing okay. See how we're doing, see if it looks okay. But getting all of this from a thumb drive is just a lot faster. I know I'm repeating myself, but as you do this and by the way, before you do this, I wiped out everything on this hard drive by doing this. So you need to make sure that you plug a thumb drive in and copy all the customer's data off or your data off of the computer before you do the installation. Because now if we go look at this, the storage on this computer, and I click on this PC, you can see I have 199 gigabytes free of 224 gigs. So I just freed up lots of data. So in here, if I go into users, so you'll see I went to the C drive. And then if you go to users, then you'll see I have a default user, Uganda 2, and I have public. And so when you do an install, go look in the users directory. And if you have users there, you'll have to check with the customer, and you may want to copy the entire user. In this case, there's Uganda 2. You would copy that user onto a thumb drive. So you capture, you'll see under that user, you have desktop with shortcuts or documents or downloads, favorites, music, all of that stuff will be in here. And so that's a good summary of how to install Windows 10 on a computer, wipe out everything on it. Now this machine is going to run a lot faster now, but you need to install Malwarebytes, which we'll do. We did in our main video. We'll do that again on here on how to secure this as best you can with the Microsoft Update, Malwarebytes. But this gets this machine back to ground zero and running a lot faster than it did. You can see everything comes up just quickly. I can open up my browser and it comes up very, very quickly. These are the default things to get you set up and running with your browser. So that's all I have for this video. Thank you very much for your patience with me, and I'll talk to you more.